Are you looking for professional broadcasting on a budget? How about broadcast with colorful commentary, guest commentators, and after-race interviews? Do your league branding and social media graphics need a facelift? Custom results and series graphics looking like a fifth grader did them? Event organization taking up way too much of your time? Engage GTCtv and let us help you show the world your events.
And welcome everyone for the ENVY Simsports 2 hours of Barcelona, proudly sponsored and powered by Triple Stint for the end of year event for 2 hours around Barcelona and GT3s. It should be a good one today. A little bit of a wet quali session, but the drivers have done their laps now and just about to get out on track for the race start. And it should be a good, interesting race today. Our crew today is me, Oscar Brown. I'll be leading you through the play-by-play commentary for today's race. Also have Pix alongside me doing the design and production side of things. How are we going today, Pix?
Doing good, thank you. How about you?
I'm doing good. It's a good day for me as well. Nice and sunny outside. It should be a good one. Nice and sunny out on track as well.
Awesome.
And who else is out on track is the very own John Cannon as well. In one of the ENVY Simsports cars, he is going to be out there tonight as well, putting down some laps, which is good to see. And of course, we're going around Barcelona tonight with the historic layout here, so no one has to put up with the dreaded chicane in the final sector. The GT3 lap record around here is a 1 minute 40.449 by Dominic Borman in the Mercedes GT3 in the 2025 Barcelona International GT Open. It consists of 13 turns with a 1 kilometer straight. It's a 4.72 kilometer circuit, 2.93 miles with 13 corners. It's got some great overtaking zones and some good hot spots there for that we might see some incidents there today. But it's got a great combination of long straights and fast corners, and it should prove some good overtaking for the next 2 hours. And of course, big thanks to our sponsors over at Triple Stint making this happen. It'd be a lot more difficult without them. With their high quality racing gloves, go check them out on triplestint.com. It's not too late for some Christmas presents or a late Christmas present either, so that's definitely a good look over there over at triplestint.com, and a big thanks to them. Alrighty, and everyone is now gridded. Qualifying is done. The cars get ready for the next 2 hours around the circuit. On pole position, we have Avery Miller with a 152.0. Behind, we have Brad Mueller. And then in third, Jean McLuhan with Yabab Firi. Stephen Norori, Alberto Alvarez, Andre Saba leading the Pro-Ams off in 7th there, Preston Lee in 8th. And then another Pro-Am, Chase Eason in 11th, Caleb Zed O'Neill in 12th, Finn Caitlin in 13th, John Cannon in 14th. And then Aaron Stevens in 15th, with Harvey Sierra in 16th, Eric Overland in 17th, and Diego Gutierrez in 18th. And that is the grid, and it's green flags, and we're away for the 2 hours of Barcelona. Brad Mueller starting to get alongside Avery Miller there. There's a little bit of shuffling in chaos in the back there. Will they make it through turn 1? Ferrari number 12 car's going to try and go up the middle there. It's going to get through safely. As the rest of the cars, there's going to be a spin there, and that's going to be a decently sized crash there. But it looks like it's just going to be a few cars that are get caught up in the back of the pack there. And look at that into turn 4. That is a sight to see. As Brad Mueller picks Avery Miller off the line, and there's cars going wide there into the gravel at turn 4. I think it might be the Porsche of Aaron Siebens, possibly. I think. Yeah, Aaron Siebens is unlucky for him, and Avery Miller doing a switcheroo up the inside there. He's going to try and get it done onto the fast right-hander of turn 9 onto the straight. That is a good move by Avery Miller. I do not think Brad Mueller was expecting that one. And Avery Miller goes back into the lead, but Brad Mueller's going to come back with a dive into the left-hander, turn 10 there, but it's just gone a little bit deep, and Avery Miller's going to get him back there. It's a very long right-hander that turn 10. Just got to try and keep it close to the apex there, but he just went a little bit too deep. And Avery Miller's back into the lead of the race after lap 1. And it was trying to generate some tire temperature there, Avery Miller in the Mustang. And so is Brad Mueller behind. And look at all those cars back there. We've got some 2-wide action at turn 1 here. John Lewin in the BMW. I believe that's Sam Noroi trying to bring the fight to him. There's a little bit of door banging there, and 2 wide with the Mustang behind as well. Now going 3 wide through turn 3. And John McLuhan is just getting sandwiched by Mustang and a BMW there. And he's lost out to the Preston Lee. Oh, he spun there and he's stayed on the brakes and managed to not go back onto the racing line of the circuit there. And there's a little bit more chaos going on now through turn 5. I think that all sort of happened. The pressure got too much for them all, going 3 wide through turn 3, and they ended up spinning, which is unfortunate. But that was definitely a bit of a chaotic sequence of events there. John Canning feeling a little bit of pressure from the number 979 car there. I believe that's Harvey Sierra making a move there on John. Of course, John's still in second for class at the moment. And of course, there are some prizes up for grabs today as well for the top 3 in each class. Another incentive to do well there, of course. And Harvey Sierra not making one move, going for 2 down the inside of turn 1. He's going to get it stopped, and yes, he does. 2 moves in the span of half a lap, and Harvey Sierra is on the move straight away. There are a few cars there, Pro-Ams, that were decently high up, especially in the mix of the Pro Class teams after qualifying, but I think it's started to section out a little bit more with the Pro drivers being close to the Pro drivers and then the Pro-Ams with the rest of their classes as well. However, John Cannon is now looking very racy in the back of, in the rear view mirror of Easton there. Of course, John Cannon in one of the ENVY Simsports cars. One of 2 teams that they have out on track today. apologies, that was Caleb O'Neill on the back of John Cannon there. As they go through turn 13, which is a bit of a tricky corner there. The fast right hand onto the big 1 kilometer straight. Drivers trying to get the best run they can out of that corner, and of course it's not flat out of that corner, and it's very easy to go wide and dip a wheel in the gravel, which you do not want to do. And Adrian Miller now extending this gap to almost 3 seconds over Brad Mueller, putting in some stellar lap times. And here goes Andre Saba into, I believe that's turn 4. And has he got the move done? I think he has, yes he has. On Eric Overland there. That is a move for class as well, as he moves up into 4th in Pro-Am. He's going to have his eyes on the pack in front of him now with multiple cars bumper to bumper in front there. Be looking to capitalize on that. Of course, there's still a long way to go in this race. We have not even gone 10 minutes yet, but a lot could happen in 2 hours, and there's going to be drivers wanting to make moves. And of course, drivers that are running teams will have to do the fair share, but here comes Brad Bueller under pressure here from Preston Lee. He's got the run out of the corner. He's going around the outside. He's keeping him to the inside there. He's going to duck out to the outside at the last moment, try and get a wide line into turn 1. He keeps it alongside him. He's going to get the inside now here, but Brad Mueller's going to get the inside for turn 3, and Preston Lee staying alongside him, not giving Brad Mueller any room there as they run towards turn 4. Who can keep it alongside? Who can inch ahead? The 2 Mustangs go at it. He's still alongside him here. There's a little bit of wheel banging as they go into turn 5 there. And it looks like Brad Mueller's just gone a little bit deep there and couldn't hold it around the outside turn 5. It's a lot sharper of a corner, that one, than the rest of them. And yeah, it's a good sequence there. And Andre Saba is definitely catching up to these pack of Pro-Am drivers now that are going bumper to bumper with the likes of John Cannon and Eason, as well as O'Neill there as well, the 3 Porsches. As Preston Lee tries to stay ahead here of Brad Mueller, and we've got a little bit too wide action here with John Cannon, and I believe that is O'Neill, Caleb O'Neill. So go into turn 12 there, ready to go into the straight. Who can get the best run out of the final corner? You can't take it flat. And the Mustangs are looking fast behind. It's going to get the run out of the corner onto John Cannon. And can he make another move into turn 1? We'll see. Doesn't look like he's got enough of a run onto John, but you never know. He looks to the inside. Maybe a little bit of a bluff. John moves over. John's like, no sir, you cannot have that. Not today. Mustang looks pretty strong at Barcelona here. There's a lot of people in them. A lot of the pro drivers are racing the Mustangs as well. A lot of Porsches and a lot of Mustangs today. They seem to be the 2 strong cars around here. And yes, as I was saying, you can race this solo. There are, I think, all the pro drivers solo today. And then we do have a few teams with that are 2 people. So John Cannon, for example, in the ENVY Simsports team is paired up with Jan Rodriguez. And it would be assumed that after the first stint, he would hop into the car and to do that fair share. That being said, though, it will be a little bit interesting with strategy here, because I do know from experience that the GT3s they can't always do stints that last more than an hour. So maybe there'll be a little bit of fuel saving involved. I'm not sure what it is going to be like, though. But we will definitely see that by the end of the race, what strategy is looking like. And Caleb O'Neill here giving the fight to Caleb Eason, and the Mustang behind looking just a little bit of a bluff on John Cannon here. And John Cannon's going to maybe have a look up the inside, but he's going to decide to stay out of that one.
Yeah, that's a nice
As
little
Caleb
frame
O'Neill
there.
makes another move. And here comes the Mustang on John Cannon. He finally gets that move done. Can John Cannon do a little bit of a switcheroo? He can't do it. But the Mustang through another move by Caleb O'Neill. He is, sorry, Andre Saba, sorry. He's definitely been making some moves this race, as he's now stuck in this little pack of Pro-Am drivers. And, you know, if they do need to do some fuel saving, maybe this is the time while they're all in one tight pack of cars for the same class. But Andre Saba's like, no, sir, I want to overtake some people. Up the inside of another Porsche. He's going to try and keep it around the inside there. Can't get it done that corner. But that Mustang is looking gripped to the ground. And he's going to get the move done. And that Mustang is looking extremely quick. He's made about 3 moves already this race. And as we go back to the lap 1 replays, that 12 Mustang, the number 12 Ferrari was just sandwiched there. Had a little bit of an opening, and I believe it's the Porsche here. Yeah, just goes a little bit wide and just couldn't hold it on the inside, and then the Ferrari gets tapped from behind, checking up, and oh, he just spins into the Mustang. I think the Mustang there got relatively through unscathed, luckily. But yeah, that is and a little bit of wheel bang here between Jean McLuhan and BMW. I think this is Jean loses it a little bit and into the Mustang. Unlucky there. A little bit of a tap, but fair play to Jean for keeping on his brakes there, as he has to watch all of the other cars pass behind him. As we see from a different angle here. Yeah, that Mustang just couldn't get on the brakes in time, which is fair enough. It just happened in a split second, and before you know it, the Porsche's in front, and then he loses it onto the grass there, as the Porsche is staring down the Mustang and couldn't get out of the way. And that's where that sequence came from. Ferrari, I believe, of Albi with no front end there. Some improved cooling. I think it was probably when, right there. Oh, yep, there goes the rear end and the front end. Luckily for the drivers, I do believe there is one fast repair this race, so I'm sure Albi would have gone ahead and taken that one. But yeah, that was a very action-packed first few laps there, for sure. And this a couple laps ago, oh, Albi and Jean McLuhan getting together there. I think hopefully both of them kept it out of the wall. Here we are back with some live action with Chase Eason and Jean McLuhan, sorry, not Jean McLuhan, John Cannon going at it. John going to try and string it around the outside, and he does. That is not the spot that you see many people go around the outside of, but fair play to John there, that's a good overtake. Indeed. And yeah, the Mustang of Andre Saba is right up into the lead of Pro-Am now. Did not take him long at all. He was a man on a mission. as we look at Stephen Norrie. A little bit of pressure from the McLaren behind. Going to turn one, both just hanging on here as Avery Miller extends their lead in the Mustang. 8.5 second lead there. That McLaren looking very racing. He's going to go up the inside there of turn 5, and the BMW did not see that one coming. As McLaren is not giving him any room at all into the next corner there. They're going to go too wide, possibly through the right-hander. I think the McLaren might just have to back off here, but no, he's going to stick it around the outside and not going to get it done. Now the BMW behind's going to be looking very racy here, as the McLaren's going to be slow out of turn 9 there onto the straight, and he looks like he's going to go around the outside. Couldn't string it together there, and they all fall back into the positions they were half a lap ago. And here we go. Paul Garney bringing the fight to the BMW. He's got the run out of the final corner going towards turn 1. He's going to try and keep him to the middle line there. The little bit of door banging again. And he's just a little bit ahead going into the first corner there. He's going to have the inside here, but the BMW is going to have the inside to turn 3, and there's a little bit of rear end contact there. And the BMW behind us somehow kept it out of the McLaren there. He's fair play for him jumping on the brakes as quick as he did. A little bit unlucky there with some contact between the two cars there, but yeah, turn 2, sorry, 2 wide into turn 3 is not for the brave, that is for sure. And unfortunately it did not end up as he would have liked. Here he's going to try and get past Caleb O'Neill here for a Pro-Am class position. Of course, still in third for class at the moment, Paul Garney. And he is one of the drivers that has a teammate as well here. Jack Clark will be hopping in the car second with the Get God Endurance team there, the McLaren. And the Pro-Am and the classes have definitely sectioned off now. They're in their packs, with the few exceptions of Albie. A little bit unfortunate there on lap 1, as well as Patrick Brady.
I have a question for you, Oscar.
Yep.
Explain to me, how is Albie an AM?
So I believe the reason that Albie is a AM class driver now we all know, if you guys have watched the GT3 Sprint series that we had, Albie is very quick, and he was in Pro Class, and of course Pro Class Championship winner. The reason that Albie, I would assume, is in Pro-Am class is because his teammate Terrell Lance, I'm not sure what the exact numbers are, but John has thought it out. There's a system to it with iRating and all that sort of stuff. With the 2 driver teams, you can have, I believe, one driver that's like 2.4k and the other that's like closer to the 1.5k sort of range there, and they will be Pro-Am class, I believe.
Okay.
I know there is a system to it, but
Yeah.
it is weird seeing Albie as a Pro-Am driver.
Yeah. That's my question. That's why I
Yep.
asked. Yeah. Yeah. Same
Um,
with Jakub. He's an AM as well, so I'm surprised he's in a green car.
Yes, and I think a bit of a similar thing there with John, the other ENVY Simsports team, the number 51 Porsche, with John Cannon and Juan Rodriguez. We see Eric go a little bit wide there into turn 12, on the exit of turn 12, sorry. That is definitely one thing while I was watching practice, is a lot of cars go wide there on the exit of turn 12 before turn 13 there. It's very easy as they try and carry a lot of speed through that corner to get a run onto the straight. And of course, Aaron Stevens here, fresh off a AM Class Championship with the ENVY Simsports GT3 Sprint Series. He's in the Porsche today after accidentally loading into the Porsche for the session when he was planning on racing the Ford Mustang. So he's had to currently learning this car for the first time around this track, which is a bit unfortunate for him, but still putting in some decent lap times and a so far good performance from him. I believe he got a little bit unlucky on the first few laps, but nonetheless still ripping it around this track. And here is Harvey Sierra looking very mean in the rearview mirror of Stephen Rory here. Looks like he wants to get a move on as he looks to the inside, just a little bit of a bluff, seeing if he can make Stephen break a little bit late into turn 1 there. This is another place where it's extremely easy to pick up off track as well, especially through the left-hander. That is, Harvey Sierra gets very nice and close to him here. And Andre Sabos is going to be liking the look of this as well as he looks into turn 5, maybe up the inside. He's not going to do it. He's probably witnessed what has happened when cars have gone too wide through this race already. As, he was one of the cars that had to hop quick on the brakes with that previous incident. So jump over the sausage curbs there. Wants to turn 9 through the back straight here. Looks like he's got a little bit of a better exit through the corner there. He's carried a little bit more speed down towards 10. Of course, it's not a big straight through here, but it's long enough if you want to get a move done. But of course, a very tricky turn 10, the very long left-hander. That it is. Of course, this track has some of the longest corners out of any track in the service, of course, with the turn 3 and turn 10 there being very long right and left-handers. Lots of load on the tires, lots of load on the aero. And then combined with the long straights like this, with the Harvey Sierra utilizing the slipstream here, and there's the same contact here again.
Javi's
we've
like,
seen multiple
okay.
times.
Yeah, Javi's like, okay, you move to the right, now don't move to the left.
Yeah, and we've seen that a lot today where people, they sit in the slipstream and then as soon as they go alongside them, they're like, no, you're not getting any sort of width here into turn 1. And here comes Andre Saber to try and make it 3 wide. So BMW's battle it out 2 wide through turn 4 now as well. And Andre Saber's going to capitalize here, possibly on Harvey Sierra, as he's a little bit of contact there and he's gone a bit wide. But it is very tricky to hold it around the outside of turn 5. And he's managed to hold it around the outside there, and he's just going to back off here. He's decided that he has no interest in fighting that battle with Harvey, of course, the pro driver there. And it's meant that Paul Garney's caught right back up to the Ford Mustang here. And we know Paul has the pace here, as we've seen in the previous laps here. Got unlucky with that incident there as he gets nice and close to the Mustang. That McLaren is looking extremely racy, and don't count out Caleb O'Neill either. He's right into it now as well. This is a big train of cars here. Pro and Pro-Am class drivers and teams. We look on board here with the 113 car going down the straight. Which is what makes this track and gives it its character, I think, is the great combination of the fast corners and straights as he looks up the inside there. He puts the nose of the car on the inside. Just letting Andre know he's there. He's going to go defensive here now, Andre. Does not want to concede this position. He's just going to fall back into line there. Better keep it single file through the next few corners. And especially in F1, with the nature of the track, with the long corners and straights and need for downforce, but then you don't want too much downforce either, of course, because of the very long straights. They used it a lot for pre-season and just in-season testing as well, to see if the cars could hold up with the aero standards, of course. They called it the aero testing heaven. They said if it was fast here, it was fast anywhere. So I think it is a lot different in a GT3 car. A lot less downforce with these cars. Of course, the F1 cars can, I believe, take it flat through this corner here, but you can definitely not do it here, and the BMW's got a not very good exit there. Maybe he's letting them through. He's looked overly pro through there, but
yeah, definitely.
I wonder how many times I'm going to say that today. Too wide through turn one. Seems like a lot. Of course, Retro coughing in chat there, as he always is. He'll be participating in this race as well. He was actually crew chief for Aaron Siemens a lot in the GT3 Sprint Series. And now he'll be racing against him. So he's in the other ENVY Simsports car with John Cannon, of course. He said he'll be in the car next. He's cheering on John from the chat. He wants 3 wide into turn 1. But yeah, this is a nice little battle here as we see John Cannon making a move on the BMW of Stephen Narori, but that's the same BMW that was with that pack. He has dropped back a lot. I'm not sure, maybe he has a little bit of wheel damage. I'm not too sure about that one. I'll try and have a look here, but it doesn't look like it. I'm not too sure. But he has lost a lot of time the last few laps there, but that is, of course, still a long way to go in this race. Just coming up to the half an hour mark as he's jumped into the pits here. So yeah, possibly a little bit of damage. Not sure about that one, but if it is damage, he will just go ahead and take that fast repair. As he goes into the box. Yes, Stephen Narori is a solo driver, as well as all the other pro class drivers here today. top 3 of Pro-Am here, very close together here. You blanket over all 3 of them as they head onto the back straight. And, Harvey Sierra isn't too far in front either. Andre Saba is going to be looking ahead to that one. He's also got the McLaren of Paul Garni in his rearview mirror. He's looking very racy to every corner here. He's definitely wanting to get a move on here. But that Mustang is making the car very wide. Pretty on his best defensive moves here. Now, while there still is an hour and a half left and it is an endurance race, being 2 hours, it is still, the drivers are wanting to get a little bit of move on here, because this next an hour and a half will move fairly quick, and there's, of course, some prizes up for grabs, but proving some great racing here at the moment.
Are we expecting any rain today?
No, we are not expecting any further rain. There was a little bit of rain, as I said, in the qualifying there. It actually happened before the qualifying session, meaning that the track was still a bit wet. Oh, poor Garni getting sideways on the exit of, I believe that's turn 5 there. Somehow keeping it on track and managing to save the McLaren there. That is a good save by Paul Garni as that car got sideways. Very loose on the exit there. This has lost now a little bit of time to the Mustang of Andre. He's still keeping up with him here. Still keeping Andre modest. Looks like he's just dropped it back a little bit more there on the exit of turn 10. Now under pressure from Caleb O'Neill in the Porsche. And Caleb's going to try and get a run onto the straight here. Doesn't look like he is close enough though. However, he is closing that gap. A little bit more room here between the 2 cars, but I have a feeling as soon as Andre starts to try and fight Harvey Sierra, if he gets close enough, that gap is going to close right back up. And as we see these drivers start to get a little bit of distance between each other. Of course, while this is the last event of the year, if you do want to take part in these races, you can jump over to ENVYSimsports.com, the website that they have over there, and join the Discord, and you will hear about any upcoming events that they have planned for next year and be able to participate in those, of course. Look at Eric Overland here in the Porsche, the Pro-Am class driver, just going a little bit, just understeering through turn 5 there, the tight corner that it is, and managing to get it back on track safely without any issues. Only damage done would be a 1 incident point. And incident points today looking like, I believe it is every 20, so 25x would be a drive-through, and then every 15 incident points after. But the drive is all being fairly clean so far. There's a few incident points as we see there between some drivers, but the interesting thing is P4 to P6, they've all been battling pretty hard, and all of them are, you know, the 2 incident points and 3 incident points there. So I think a lot of the incident points so far would have come from the from lap 1, lap 2, early on there, as they all dove into turn 1 very closely together. We see Avery Miller here with a massive gap to Preston Lee behind. It's always something that catches me off guard when I see the cars go through turn 10. I'm like, I always think they go deep because I'm not used to that configuration of turn 10. I'm always used to the earlier left-hander there. It catches me off guard all the time. I'm like, oh, he's gone deep. No, he hasn't. Yeah, Avery Miller already catching up to some lap traffic here, by the looks of things. I believe that is Aaron Stevens in the Porsche. As we look at Paul Garney here to the inside of turn 1 here on the Mustang of Andre Saba for first in class, and looks like he's got that move done. But of course this Mustang has looked very strong here today, and that means Paul Garney's now up into the lead as we see Patrick Brady in the Mustang giving a fight to Easton there in the Porsche, and he's, look at the speed there from the Mustang. He's able to pull it in front of the Porsche before he even has to brake. Gets that move done with ease. Now Paul Carney sets his sights onwards towards Harvey Sierra now, and try and put that Mustang behind it. I think there's an advantage, disadvantage to having teammates in a race where it's 2 hours. The advantage is if you've got a teammate, you're not going to get tired probably. You know, it's a 1 hour race. Generally speaking, you probably shouldn't. You're not going to feel even just the mental tiredness by the end of the race that maybe some of the drivers that are soloing it will. However, I think there'll be a 1-2 lap period where the new drivers are trying to get up to scratch, whereas the solo drivers are already been racing for the past hour, and they're just going to put it back on track and just keep setting their lap times and stay in the groove, whereas the teammates might have to try and get in that sort of their zone, get back up to scratch of the race. Done. As we move later into the race, I'm sure this battle for Pro-Am class will begin to be a bit more feisty, especially as Albie starts to try and catch up to John Cannon. Of course, two drivers that help out a lot with this league, of course, and make it happen. And of course, big thanks to the guys and folks over at Triple Stint Racing, of course. TripleStint.com with their racing gloves. I'm sure some of the drivers out there are using them. I wouldn't be surprised if Avery Miller's using them with the lap times that he's setting currently. And as well as that, the drivers, there are some Triple Stint Racing gloves up for grabs in terms of the outcome of this race as well. So a big thanks to the folks over at Triple Stint for helping make this event happen, as always, with a high quality racing gloves over at TripleStint.com. And Pulgani here in the McLaren as he sets his sights forward, of course, but these guys have definitely started to put a little bit of a gap between each other. That's a little bit less spicy now. Of course, once pit stops roll around, I'm sure it will be very interesting. Harvey Sierra's definitely put the foot down, the pedal to the metal, starting to build that lead over Pulgani. Of course, while not for actual class position, he still does not want to get caught up too much with facts that he doesn't want to get in. So of course, he'll.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of very flat, boring liveries when these guys are really good at liveries. Albi usually has a team livery. Javi Sierra has a Lukmanski livery. You know what's going on with these guys?
Yeah, so I believe, especially from conversations I have had in the Discord with some guys that are out there today, is I think quite a few of them have been caught off guard with the fact that in training paints, because this is of course a team event today, you actually need to go into training paints, and under your teams you need to set a certain livery for that team. Otherwise you'll load into the session and it'll be a bit of a bland delivery like a few that we've seen out there today. So I believe that might be the issue that some of these drivers have had and just been caught off guard by. But yeah, you know, everyone makes mistakes, so it's a pretty easy one to make if you haven't ever done a team event before. I've definitely done that before. I learned the hard way.
Yeah, and I did see in the Discord that some guys are doing their first endurance race here today with ENVY. So it's glad to see that they are getting new people, new drivers, new teams, and well, at least that looks like we've learned something, and in the future they'll be ready for that part, because Javi usually has his nice Lukmanski livery. John here does have some green right there, but I don't think that's even their livery. So,
yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, well. And I mean, of course, like as you said, a lot of drivers for their first endurance race here. It's a good space to do that, I think. While there is definitely some competitive to this, it is also like, you know, the end of year event, and I think with the competitive nature of it that there's still a lot of people are out there to have fun, you know, and do some racing before Christmas and have a good time with the rest of the guys in this league, and go out with the blast, you know, and end 2025 off on a good note. As I'm sure so far we have. It has been a very action-packed 45 minutes here, so for sure. And Harvey Sierra's just dropped a little bit of pace here as Pulgani catches up to him, so I'm sure those two are having fun at the moment. And Patrick Brady there being the only driver that has made their first stop. Of course, as it is in the league rules, you do have to do a pit stop. That being said, if you were able to make a GT3 car last 2 hours on one fuel tank, wow, that's some good fuel saving.
yeah. If you do that, you deserve a podium, of course.
Yep. Well, you might have to get the car around at 5 k's an hour for the fuel race. We should be able to do that. As we see Patrick Brady making another move on the Porsche here. I feel like we've seen this one before today. Into turn 1. And gets it done. I tell you what, those Mustangs are looking very strong on the straights and into especially turn 1 there. The exit of turn 13 onto the straight and into the first sector. They look extremely strong and very racy.
I think we are ready to give away the livery winner of the day, because this is a Christmas livery, and it has a
100%. Yeah, it's a it's a wonderful little twist on it with the
Yes.
classic sort of Mustang that they have on the
Yes.
side of the cars generally, the Ford Mustangs, and he's put a reindeer there. It's a very good
Yeah.
twist, and it's definitely in the Christmas
Yeah,
spirit.
so-
That is for sure.
Patrick Brady, if you're listening, you win livery of the day.
Indeed. Yeah, it's a great livery. I love the little reindeer twist on the side of it. It's a great idea there. And of course, a lot of these guys in here that haven't got caught out by trading paints. I mean, even the guys that have, there's definitely some people in here that make some amazing liveries. Yeah, indeed. So it's always good to see when we load into the sessions to do our broadcast what sort of liveries there are. I know for me, Chris Heide, I personally like his liveries. Ones.
Oh yeah, his team livery
Chris Heide is
so clean.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of drivers out there that produce some amazing liveries. So as we see these three get nice and close to each other again. So I believe that is Caleb O'Neill there behind Porsche, and then Albie. Albie, the Pro-Am class driver,
Yeah.
is gonna want to try and get around these, and fair play to Albie here. He has scraped back after that. I mean, at the end of lap 1, he had not much of a car left, so that is fair play to him. And he's gonna want to try and get as much track position as he can and give Terrell Lance a nice and easy job as he ups in the car. But of course, Terrell Lance is not a slow driver either. He has definitely got some pace as well. I believe he was a silver class driver in the GT3 Sprint Series, and we definitely saw him come through with some good results that season. As we see Caleb O'Neill getting nice and close to this Mustang. Looks like he has a little bit of front end damage here, so we'll see if the Mustang can put up much of a fight. But here comes Albie looking to capitalize on this little battle here. Oh, Albie going very close to the Porsche there. As they go too wide through turn 3, I think Albie is going to be liking the look of this. He's licking his lips behind these two now. As he goes really round the outside there. He has just sent it around the outside, and that Ferrari looks gripped to the tarmac, that is for sure. As he gets a move done there on Caleb O'Neill. He went right around the outside, and now he's going to set his sights on the Mustang of Andre Saber, who has a little bit of front end damage, so he's going to be a bit slow on the straights here. So we'll see what Albie can do here into turn 9 onto the back straight. Not going to be close enough, but if he can stick behind, oh, he's going to go for a send on the inside, and can he get it round? And he can't hold it round the outside. Very tricky to go around the outside there, but Albie is looking extremely racy here with 49, nearly 50 minutes gone on this race. Almost halfway done, and Albie is definitely looking to make some moves as he comes to the back end of his stint of this race. But yeah, I think the Mustang's going to have a bit of trouble here with that. And we see on the front right, he's got a little bit of a banged up front end there. As Albie looks to, will he pull to the inside, or is he just going to pull it in behind him? And he's going to go to the inside, and if he can keep it together through the next left-hander there, and he has done that move very well. And that means he is now up into a podium spot in the Ferrari. And I would not be surprised now if Caleb O'Neill tries to bring the fight back to Andre now.
Yeah, and Retro on the chat says, "Holy dive bomb!"
Yeah, I just saw that now. I believe that's Chris Heide in chat there, asking about the fuel, and Retro Coffin helping out as well. So yes, they can do an hour. So I do not believe that. I don't think fuel saving will be too much of an issue, from what I'm judging in the chat there. Which means Albi's still going to have about another 13 to 15 minutes in the car here to try and make some gains on John Cannon, which will be an interesting battle to see there between John and Albi. But still, Paul Garney, like, giving a fight to the pro driver here of Harvey Sierra. I do believe Paul Garney is a 2.4K driver, which is a little bit of a similar situation with Alberto and Terrell Lance, I believe, as we see with a few of the drivers out there. And tell you what, there's one driver that stands out, and that's a 5.9K of Avery Miller, and there's no wonder why he's got a 27 gap to Preston Lee. But I do think that gap between P1 and P2 has started to slow down a little bit. There was a bit of a sequence there where Miller was really stretching that gap out, as we see Paul Garney now getting just ever so closer to the Mustang, sorry, the BMW of Harvey Sierra. Now, I mean, while this is not for class position, I think if Paul Garney can put a pro class driver in between him and second in class, that would be a huge help for him. Retro thinks that 5.9K is just cheating. I don't know, Retro, you give him a fight. You just have to wind down the windows and let the mullet flap in the wind, and it'd be easy win. The mullet gives you an extra half a second. The most aerodynamic haircut. Loving the YouTube chat at the moment. Apparently that is the esports team there that Avery Miller is driving for, so no surprises there that he is extremely quick. Avery is a beast, yes, it does appear so. And look at this, Paul Garney right on the back of Harvey Sierra now. And I think it's great to see that we're getting those sort of people in the league now, those sort of turnouts. To have an esports team with a 5.9K driver who's setting some really quick lap times. It's good to see, it's good for the league. And see the really quick drivers that there are out there in iRacing be in the league. Preston Lee might have a different take on it, but you know. Chris is very right there in chat as well. That 22nd lap. Try and say that again. The 20-second lead is very impressive indeed. Currently, according to Drovich in chat, he also drives in real life as well, which is very cool. Huge thanks to everyone watching over on YouTube at the moment as well. And of course, if you like what you're seeing and you want to stay up to date with any broadcasts that we have in the future, make sure to hit that like and subscribe there. It goes a long way as well. And thank you very much for everyone that's come out today to watch. We're getting the full history lesson here on Avery. He has also won the Canadian National Karting Championship previously, so that was a no surprises there that he's very quick in that Mustang. And Chris, we would have loved to see you out on track as well today, but, you know, I'm sure taking a break after winning that, I think we can excuse you for taking a break. We'll let you off after winning that Silver Class Championship. After all, you have to sort out that championship dinner with Aaron Stevens over in Indianapolis. And talking about liveries before, this is one that I like a lot. It's very simplistic, a little bit of a retro vibe on the Porsche.
Yeah, elegant. Very elegant.
Especially the number, the circle number background is.
Yeah.
It screams retro at me.
Yes.
Speaking of retro, someone who is very good at making Porsche liveries is the man, the myth, the legend, Retro Coffin. Definitely makes some good ones. I love the Uniqlo Porsche livery that he made. It's always a good little livery to look at. I believe we have Chris Bull in chat. Hello, Chris. Welcome to the stream. Good to have you. As we inch closer to the halfway mark of this race today, or tonight, if you are in America or Mexico or South America, anywhere over there. Today, if you're in Australia like me. It's definitely getting a little bit hot over here now as we move closer to Christmas. So we move into summer here in Australia. I'm sure it's a bit of a different story for some of the states in America as it starts to snow. And Paul Garney has managed to get past Harvey Sierra now as well, which has put a nice gap between him and John Cannon. And I believe this is could stand corrected, but this livery looks like a Barcelona special livery. I think you see there on the rear right in the track map of Barcelona there. And on the rear left. Which is very cool. Everyone's come out with the amazing liveries for tonight's race. And as we move up to the hour mark in the race, just as I was about to say, we're going to see a few pit stops come into play here now as Avery Miller jumps into the pits. Up on the jacks, taking some fresh tyres and some fuel as well, which means Preston Lee will now move into the lead of the race for the time being. Now, of course, none of these pro drivers are going to have to worry about any driver changes, as they are all doing it solo tonight. And so too is Brad Mueller now in the pits as well. And while everyone is fairly spread out at the moment, all it takes is a little mishap in the pit lane and it will change the course of the race for sure. I think we saw that definitely at Big Willow with that battle with Chris Heide and the likes of Albie and I believe it was Rob Shaw. And saw some race-changing things into pit lane with the Rob Shaw going off and Albie unfortunately getting a black flag there in the last race. But so pit stops are definitely a big thing in these races. It can change a lot as we see this Avery Miller getting some pressure from Harvey Sierra now after coming out. He's of course going to be on cold tyres here, is Avery, as we saw him go up on the jacks for the pit stop, as I'm sure many of the drivers will, with the nature of this track is very demanding on aero and tyres with the long fast corners that it has. going to sit behind him? Is he going to pull out to the inside there? Looks like he's got a little bit of right front damage there on the BMW of Harvey Tierra. I think Avery is just going to sit behind him, get his tyres up to temperature. Maybe save a little bit of fuel. He did pit before that hour mark, but only by about 20 seconds, so he's probably looking on par as Harvey Sierra dives into the pit lane now for his mandatory stop. And of course, with some of the Pro-Am class drivers that have teammates, we'll see a few different drivers out on track now as well. For example, Albie, when he comes into the pits to relax, will hop into that ENVY Simsports number 12 Ferrari car and bring it home for the end of the race. Yep, and of course, as we get to the halfway of this race, we want to thank all of these people on the screen here for donating to ENVY Simsports. It's, I believe, a $5 every month donation to the league, which helps all of these things happen, and we couldn't do it without them and the sponsors, but especially big thanks to these guys, William, Gary, Brad Mueller, Terrell Latz, Retro Coffin, Marvin Brooks, Michael Jeffries over at Triple Stint there, of course, and then Joseph Kronk as well. A huge thanks to all of those donors for the league being so kind enough to chip in $5 every month, and it definitely helps the league a lot, as we see Albie dive into the pits here now. But yes, huge thanks to them. And of course, we see a lot of them on track today, and a lot of them in the GT3 Sprint Series, and Retro Coffin's always in the chat, so they're definitely so important to the league, and they do help a lot, so big thanks to them. And of course, if you do want to, there's no requirement to, but if you would like to, you can head over to envysimsports.com and join the Discord if you would like as well, to become involved with the league as well, as we round out the end of the 2025 season. And I'm sure they've got lots of exciting events planned for next year. I believe they are going back to the sports car-ish challenge with the LMP2s and different classes, I believe, which should be interesting. Chris in chat said he's going to rewind and check out some of the action from the start. It was definitely some action right there, I can tell you that much. And of course now Albie is out of the car, and Terrell Lance is going to be in that Ferrari now. And so is the man, the myth, the legend, Retro Coffin. Juan Rodriguez there in the Porsche. Up into P3, so this should be an interesting battle here between Juan and Terrell Lance. We'll see if Rodriguez can catch up to him. Of course, Albie managed to get that monster gap for about 8.3 seconds there. And I think a lot of time will be had in these next few laps here, with seeing how these drivers can manage their new cold tyres. And as we see Terrell Lance get a little bit wide over that sausage curve and lose the rear end of that Ferrari a little bit, manages to save it, of course. A little bit of a moment there. Just as I was mentioning, if we could see if these drivers, how well they manage their freshly new cold tyres there. So I think a lot of lap time will be made in these next few laps here between these drivers. And then don't count out Caleb O'Neill here either. With the number 47 Porsche staring down Rodriguez here in the ENVY Simsports Porsche. And as we pass the halfway mark here, has everyone gone into the pits, or are there some people that we'll see if there's anyone that still has to pit now. And like everyone, at least into the top 14, have now done their pit stops. And of course, we see Terrell Lance, the ENVY Simsports number 12 car there, has done 2 stops due to that unfortunate incident at the start with Albie, losing the rear end of the car and the front end of the car. He was left with the middle of the car. So that is still a monster effort from Albie there in that stint there to manage to get the car up into second in class after having to pit twice now. So that is fair play to him. And that is the advantages of having these Pro-Am drivers that are 2.4K, the extremely fast drivers that we know Albie is. But then the likes of Terrell Lance, who also has some pretty good pace as well. So that's a very strong team there. But do not count out one Rodriguez either, which we know he is pretty quick too. But he's starting to feel a little bit of pressure here from behind, with Caleb O'Neill just keeping him modest here, just staying within that 1 second gap. Getting a little bit of help from Slipstream down the straights, but as well as that, we have Andre Saba now in the Mustang. He's going to be liking the look of this as well, wanting to get involved here. Looks like Brad Mueller's just dropped back a little bit now too. Maybe going wide or something, as we see that interval between him and Preston Lee start to grow. And as we look at the lap times here as well between O'Neill and Rodriguez, so they start to battle it out. And Caleb O'Neill is definitely closing this gap now, but don't count out Andre Saba. We know the Mustang has been so strong around here, and that's a car off there. I believe that's Harvey Sierra, possibly, or I think that might be John McLuhan there in the Porsche. That was off on the exit of turn 7 or 8, I believe. I believe it was John McLuhan. Yes, there we go in the Porsche. Oh, he's lost it into a wall on the exit of turn 7 there. So easy to do that there. And luckily he's hit that front on. Hopefully the steering is okay. But Brad Mueller as well doing the exact same thing, but luckily not spinning to the inside there. And he just goes into the gravel trap and gets on his merry way. Talking about merry with this livery by Patrick Brady now in the car. Going a little bit wide there as well. Yeah. But I think Andre's a bit closer to Caleb now than Caleb is to Juan, so this is going to be another extremely racy sequence here. I mean, we've seen a lot of it today. This track has proved some amazing racing. We tend to see with some tracks that as we get on with the race, I know Chris's favourite track, Gilles Villeneuve, was a bit like that in the GT3 Sprint Series. It started to spread out as the race got on, but this track has just kept everyone fairly close together, with a few exceptions of some of the pro class drivers up there a bit spaced apart, but these guys are sticking really close together here and putting in some similar lap times as one starts to get up to scratch after his pit stop now. And Andre Saba is just sitting behind it, just waiting to pounce. And of course this is for position as well for Pro-Am class. But the Mustang not really closing the gap there on the straight, of course. I mean, Caleb O'Neill's going to be getting the slipstream from the Porsche in front there as well. As we go through the long left-hander, sorry, the long right-hander of turn 3. I promise I know my left and rights. That Mustang just closes those gaps into the braking areas. So strong on exits and entries. Especially here at Barcelona, as he takes a lot of curve there. This corner is kryptonite for a lot of these cars. It is definitely one of the harder turns of this track, as we've seen today. A lot of cars going wide there, spinning into a wall or going wide into the gravel trap. So it's a make or break bit of the track. So is the likes of turn 13. The more speed you carry through there, the better for the lap time, but if you carry too much, you are into the gravel, or worse, into a wall. So definitely a technical and interesting track. As we see here, Preston Lee through turn 3. That's another difficult bit of the track as he goes wide there, but manages to keep it on track. Just goes a little bit wide through turn 3. Very easy to do that. As we said, one of the longest corners there is. And definitely the longest at this track. For sure. Ooh, look at that Mustang of Andre Saba taking the wide lines, trying to get the good exits. So you go down towards turn 4, he looks to the inside. Is he going to put the car there? He's just going to wait. A little bit of a bluff. See if he can make that Porsche a little bit uncomfortable. Try and force an error from him here. This next best shot is onto the straight here now. It's not a very long straight though. But you get the tight corner into turn 10 if you get close enough and get a good enough run out of this corner here. But he won't be getting too much of a help from slipstream as Caleb O'Neill's in front of him as well. But he's just started to, sorry, Juan Rodriguez is in front. But Juan has just started to stretch that gap a little bit. As I'm sure John Cannon watches on as his teammate after his fairly good first stint keeping it out of trouble, as a lot of these drivers have done that are currently running up here with the front of the pack. Of course, endurance races, it's a pretty useful thing if you can keep it out of trouble. Generally speaking, especially in the longer 24 to 12 hours, even 6-hour races, if you keep it out of trouble, you will do well, generally speaking. So that's what a lot of these drivers in the front of the pack have managed to do this race so far. As we come up to the last 45 minutes of this race now. And now for some of these drivers that raced in the GT3 Sprint Series, the ENVY Simsports, it is now just it's just a sprint race to the end now. They try and put in some good lap times and make some gains in the last 45 minutes here. Of course, prizes up for grabs as well. for this event as we see Brad Mueller into turn 8 again. That Mustang is not liking that corner at all, is it? It is having a hard time into there. It is, I mean, not only the Mustang, we've seen it a lot with other cars as well. That is a very tricky corner. As Andre Saba looks for a move here into turn 10. Gets it stopped just about, and that is a move for the 88 car. He moves up into 8th overall and 4th in class for Pro-Am. Starts to put a little bit of a gap in between now. He sets his sights forward to Rodriguez. And look at that, Tyrrell Lance not too far in front of them as well. One has taken chunks out of that gap. That was 8 seconds before the pit, after the pit stops. And Juan Rodriguez is staring down the barrel of that Ferrari now. Maybe he can try and put a car in between him and Andre Saba and the Mustang. Turn 10 they go as Andre starts to inch that gap closer to a second. It's at 1.2 at the moment. 1.1. He's just slowly getting closer to 1 here. Now, it looks like 1's possibly got a little bit of lap traffic here, but I'm sure they will slightly move out of the way as they've done there, and as well onto the straight here. Although Andre Saba's probably like, please don't move, I want your slipstream. As he looked Patrick Brady going nice and wide there in the Mustang through turn 13. We've seen that one multiple times today. Trying to carry as much speed through that corner as you can. As Andre Saba now gets past the lapped traffic there. Avery Miller in the Mustang. It's going a little bit wide there at turn 3. Still with that huge 33.6 second gap to Preston Lee. I said it early on. This Pro-Am battle here is not going to disappoint, and it has not. And now 40 minutes, just past the 40-minute mark to go. It is going to get extremely close as we round to the end of this race and the end of 2025 in terms of ENVY Simsports events. What a year it has been. One is closed right up to the back of that Ferrari now of Tyrrell Lance. It's the 2 ENVY Simsports cars going at it now. Just look how much the Porsche is closed up there. Rodriguez is inching everything out of this car now. As he puts the Porsche in some, he just puts it in the eyesight there. He's just letting Tyrrell know he's there as he ducks to the inside. Tyrrell doing his best job of defending this Porsche now as Juan Rodriguez dives to the inside. He's going to get it round turn 5 there. Such a tight corner, but he's managed to pull it off, and now Tyrrell Lance has got to look again in the mirror as he looks like he gets a little bit loose there. Now Andre Saber's looking as the lips going into the back straight here through turn 9. He is closed right up to that Ferrari. Is he going to put a little move on? Is he going to duck to the inside? Terrell is defending the inside. He's moved over to the outside though now. The Mustang can't get close enough, but as we see Juan get nice and loose on the rear end of that Porsche as well. These cars, they struggle with this track, with the tyre loads. I'm sure the tyres are not necessarily cool by any standards, as the drivers put them under lots of load. Yeah, now, Juan Rodriguez is caught right up to Jack Clark, the other Pro-Am class driver, who has been leading, that team has been leading this race for a good while now, a good 40 minutes. That team, of course, being GitGud Endurance Racing in the McLaren. And here comes Juan Rodriguez. He wants to get this over and done with, doesn't he? He is looking extremely racy. And he goes up the inside of turn 5 here again. And not much room between them there on the exit, but one manages to get it done and now up into the lead of this race for Pro-Am class. And he is putting on a spectacle of racing here, and now Terrell Lance, he wants his P2 back. And he's going to try and get it done here. Is he going to be close enough into turn 10? He's going to have the slipstream, but you also got the Mustang here of Andre Saber behind now as well. He just keeps that Mustang in the mirrors of Terrell Lance, just letting him know he's there. But of course, Terrell is another very experienced driver here. Lots of experience, especially in the GT3 Sprint Series, being a silver class driver last season. So he is no stranger to Mustangs putting themselves in the rearview mirror. Here we go, the Mustang's got the run now. Terrell's just going to put it in the middle of the track. He's like, you have to choose where you're going to put the car now. He's going to put it up the inside. Not far alongside him here. Can he get the switcheroo? He's going to have a better line here into turn 3 now. Terrell Lance has been hampered. He's going to have to keep it tight around the outside. He goes wide into turn 3, and that is Andre Saber now. It's still too wide. Terrell Lance is keeping it around the outside, and who's that in the SRN Esports car? That's Caleb O'Neill, I believe. No, I believe it's that car possibly. Oh, that's Avery. Wow. He's now lapping. I believe that's P6, P7. And this is going to be interesting here as well, as Andre Saber's, he's getting the blue flag here, but I think Avery, Andre's let him go there strategically, not trying to give up too much time there on the straight. And of course, with Terrell Lance behind him in the Ferrari, Terrell just losing a few positions there, but don't count him out. We've seen this entire race that as soon as a few cars go too wide up ahead, it just loses so much time to the cars behind. As they close up, and look at this, they're all so close to each other now, with nearly 30 minutes left in the race. Coming up to 3/4 done now. And it's the McLaren going wide there, I believe. That's Jack Clark. It's Andre. Puts on a move there in the Mustang. Now, going to be interesting here with one as well, with Avery behind him, the leader. How's he going to deal with that. Of course, he'll be getting shown the blue flags now. We'll probably look to give that one up on the straight, but you've got Andre Sava behind him, so not as easy as it looks to let him go here. And as, of course, we see the lap times there. Avery is extremely quick this race. He's just right on the back of one there. Almost touching the rear end there of the Porsche as they make it through all nice and safe and onto the big 1 kilometer straight now, as Avery has gone through that little bit of the traffic, and next up is lapping the rest of the people in his class now. Look at that, all down the main straight there. It's just filled with cars. Most of them on the lead lap, well, on the same lap, sorry. And all these cars very tightly packed as we look at Juan Rodriguez there now. We go back to Patrick Brady in the Christmas livery. Through turn 10, just loses it on the rear. I think that's just another result of these tyres getting a little bit hot with the big loads that are on them. It's not an easy track at all. And Brad Mueller here again at turn 8. Oh, it is, he hates that corner. He has had enough of that corner. I think that's the 3rd time we've seen that, but it's been similar issues for other drivers out there. And, Jack Clark feeling a bit of pressure here now from Toro Lance. And that ENVY Simsports Ferrari, as they go onto the main straight here, he's going to have the slipstream. And Caleb O'Neill in the Porsche behind as well. Don't count out him either. All these 3 cars are just so close to each other at the moment. And here comes the Ferrari, looking up the inside there, trying to put the car in difficult places here. Trying to make the McLaren think. Jack. And now, of course, we're joined by the very own Alberto Alvarez, now that he's hopped out of that ENVY Simsports Ferrari and he's watching on. He'll be up in the booth with us for the rest of the race. Very good evening to you, Alberto. How are you going?
How are we doing, guys?
Doing good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, pretty tired.
Yes, I mean, very nice and just humble after the amazing first stint that he just did, bringing that car into 2nd in class after the unfortunate incident there on lap 1 and laps after that. So, but yeah, you definitely put that car in a very good position for Tyrrell Lance now to hop in.
Yeah, I mean, conditions are tricky. The truck really has not much grip in it.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I mean,
looks like
unfortunately on lap 1 what happened, and But yeah, made it a good challenge. It was fun to fight back up the
Yep.
field.
It was a unfortunate wrong place, wrong time sort of scenario for you,
Yeah.
from what we saw at least. Unfortunately, right behind that spun car, but you know, you've brought it back. Which is fair play to you as we look on with the race now. Juan Rodriguez trying to run away from Andre Sava now. All setting similar lap times. He's picked right onto it now.
Nah, Andrea, it's been pretty quick. Unfortunately, he had some damage on the first stint, I think. And,
Yes.
It was a good battle with him and Caleb, I think. But yeah, let's see if he can close up to the retro classic.
Yeah, I mean, the Mustangs have looked pretty strong here, especially into the entries and exits here. They have looked pretty strong. As we look there, that gap just closed right up into the braking area, but then the Porsche getting the good exit.
Yeah, I mean, the Porsche is no slouch on the straight either. It was really hard to get close to that.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like Andrea is the pace right now. Like just looking at the car. So
indeed.
Let's see if I can pull a move.
Look at Caleb O'Neill here on the inside of the Ferrari. That was a good move by him.
I think
the inside of turn 12.
Yeah, Terrell let him go. They had a little bit of contact a few turns before. So.
It's real trying to stay out of any sort of danger, wanting to just bring the car home. Nonetheless, he has been doing a good job at doing that. As we see Brad Mueller in the pits now. Yes, I believe it looks like a drive-through from him. Yeah. He can thank turn 8 for that one. He's not been best friends with that corner today. Yes, that Ford is not been best friends with turn 8.
I saw a lot of gravel out on the exit, so I guess somebody...
It looks like not a very easy turn for these GT3s by the looks of it.
Yeah, a very easy track to go off track, like pretty much every corner you can get on off track, so...
Yeah. What are the track temps looking like out there? Is it?
It's track 10 right now is 21 degrees.
Okay, that's
I guess
fairly cool then.
Celsius. Yeah, I mean it's really cool.
Yeah.
And the track has no grip at all.
Yeah. Yeah, because we were looking at the same thing with some of the cars that were spinning, and thought the track temps must have been decently high, and just that combined with the amount of load that the tyres are of course put on around here is just leading to maybe a few of those spins. But yeah, the track temps are not too hot at all. Actually pretty cool, so a little bit of wind there as well.
Yeah, pretty cool. And with the rain before the race, I guess the track like cleaned up, and yeah, no grip at all, and like really cold, but still the front left, it's taking a beating.
Yeah, and
as we see the retro making a mistake.
Andre Sava is right on the back of that Porsche now. Rodriguez is looking in his mirrors. Is he going to defend? He pulls to the outside. And Andre's going to try and put on a little move and a little bit of a bluff, and it's worked on Juan Rodriguez as he goes a little bit deep into turn 10 there. That Mustang has looked very good at just keeping it close to other cars in terms of too wide action. It's never really looked like it's had a lot of trouble staying too wide. It looks fairly good in terms of a racing car. It's been very good with too wide action, the Mustang today. Looks almost effortless to keep it too wide with that car.
Yeah, I mean they're 1 through 3 at the moment, so the car definitely has good pace in it.
And well, only 23 minutes left now. How time flies when you're having fun. As we come to a close on the season, well, 2025 season that is. Yeah, and I mean they're putting on a good race here. These two, Juan Rodriguez and Andre Saba, just separated by 0.5 of a second after an hour and a half of racing. And this man right here has just been putting on a stellar performance as well. Avery Miller in the Torrent Esports Mustang with a monster 37.5 second gap that has just been stretching out the entire race.
Yeah, he's on a class of his own.
Oh yeah.
You needed to have 3 classes. I mean, what a lap he put in quali, like almost a second from everybody else.
Yes, I believe the gap to Brad Mueller in second was 0.8 of a second, so yes.
Yeah, his fault I made a mistake on the last lap. I saw his lap, I was like, wow. And I just tried to push a little bit too much. And
Yeah. Well,
yeah, super
the
cool.
rain definitely spiced some things up. As we see Juan Rodriguez trying to get in the head of, I believe that's lap traffic, never mind. I was like, that is not Harvey Sierra, because that is less than a 20-second gap. He doesn't want to lose any time to these back markers here with Andre Saba behind him, 0.6 of a second here. And that's a slow car on track now. That's Diego Gutierrez, and that's into the Mustang. Oh, I believe that's Brad Mueller. And that car is looking a lot worse for wear now. Maybe a little bit of steering damage, loses it in front of the Mustang. Here comes turn 8, strikes again.
Turn 8 again.
It loses it into the wall. Oh, that's a big impact there. And I reckon he's got steering damage on that rejoin in his spot. It's fine here. I think he gets up to speed and then he's like, oh. And there is nothing that Brad Mueller could do about that. And that car is also now not... That is so unlucky. It looks like some steering damage possibly there, some front end damage. Luckily, they do have that one fast repair, but that is just not the way that Brad Mueller wanted that race to end up, as Harvey Sierra now goes past him. Is extremely unlucky there as Jack Clark goes wide into the gravel on the exit of turn 5 there. It's a long trip through the gravel, through the grass, as he just watched his 2 Pro-Am class drivers pass him. As we look back at this battle now between Andre Saba and Juan Rodriguez, it has definitely been an action-packed race, and that means that Harvey Sierra now is up into 3rd overall, and of course 3rd in pro class. So he will be happy about that.
Yeah, great race by Harvey. Like, not pretty quiet race, but yeah, like bringing home a good result for now.
Yeah,
I don't want to jinx it.
Don't worry, Chris he's the commentator's curse guy. Sorry, Chris, if you're watching. But yeah, I mean, being the main thing of this race is that if you can keep it out of trouble, as we've seen with multiple of these cars, it's you'll put yourself in a good spot. And in terms of finishing positions, I'm sure, Albie, you probably know more about this than we do. In terms of, I believe there's some prizes.
I'm the wrong guy for that question.
Wrong guy? Oh, well, I'll ask John. I'm pretty sure there is.
This is John's baby, so
yeah.
I wasn't very much involved in it.
Albie's like, I just go out there on track and I drive as fast as I can, as we see Juan Rodriguez getting a little bit of pressure from
He went wide a little bit.
Andre Saba there. That Mustang looking extremely racy now.
Andrea starting to get into Retro said.
Hmm.
Let's see. Usually Retro is quite a cool driver, no mistakes.
Yeah, it's hard when that
Let's see.
Mustang is so quick. And it really does look like a strong car around here as well. Yeah, these are the closest two cars on track at the moment. Putting in some amazing action for us in the final 19, the 18 minutes now of this race. And we had a conversation about it before as well, Albie, in terms of liveries. Pix was wondering why there were a lot of just default liveries, and I assumed that it was the trading paints thing with the team paints. Is that correct? From what you can see, probably.
I believe so for most teams.
Yeah.
I know for our car, we had a mixed up with the teams.
Okay.
So we put the livery on the wrong team, and yeah, unfortunately, I mean, it's pretty nice car to look at. Pretty nice livery on the Ferrari. Yeah, what Terrell had put up on the car was pretty nice and Christmas style. So a bit unfortunate.
Yeah, that's what we were wondering with Gentleman, unfortunately. Yeah. There's still some amazing liveries out there nonetheless, and we know there are some people that are very experienced with liveries like yourself and Terrell and everyone. One that caught Hicks and I's eye was, I believe it was Patrick Brady with his beautifully themed Christmas livery. Yeah, the Ford Mustang with the reindeer on the side of it instead of the horse.
I mean, this can be pretty much, you can call it like a Christmas race. Being the
Yeah.
last race of the year.
100%. Yeah. I mean, Christmas is not that far out, so it only came to my realization yesterday at work that I was like, oh, it's like 5 days away. So,
Time flies.
yep. So we see Brad Mueller
Oh.
here through turn 13. Oh my goodness. Oh, not sure what's going on there. Looks like he almost lost it. Yeah, not too sure. But it's been a bit of a rough race for him, unfortunately.
Yeah, he was going good, like still P3, good gap from P4, but yeah, unfortunately that incident with Diego.
Yeah, I think very similar to, of course, you guys in the ENVY Simsports Ferrari. Yeah, it's wrong place, wrong time sort of incident, unfortunately. As
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah,
Not ideal, but yeah.
Yeah, as we see Juan he's every time he goes into turn 2 and 3, he takes so much of that curve there. Look at this, Andre
Can we see
Sabo.
the speed fix? Because I think Retro was saving fuel, like the first few laps out of the pit. So
Okay. So you got the pace there up now.
would be interesting to see if he's still doing it. I mean, not the most comfortable thing to do with a car right behind you.
No, especially the Mustang and
with the...
Andre Saba, who has been extremely fast this race there. Andre's just waiting for the right moment now, waiting for Juan to make a mistake. But as you said before, he's a very good driver at being consistent. Is Rodriguez. Good old retro coffin.
It's a really tough truck to overtake too.
Yeah.
It's gonna be hard for Andrea. He needs to invent something. No, he's not saving anymore. Oh, no, terrible crash.
That's just unfortunate. There looks. Oh, he. I think he might be lucky in terms of damage, but it's
It doesn't look
nearly
like he
hits
has
the
some
rear
damage.
wing. Almost hits the rear wing on the spinning it back around. Where it looks like exit of turn 11 into turn 12 there. So we see those.
Yeah, I mean,
that whole section.
I understand him. The car is not very
Mm.
nice to drive.
Yeah, it looks like that's definitely an incident hotspot there. Through turn 11 through to turn 13 with the car under a lot of load through those corners. Of course, it's either that or the chicane that most people don't like. So I don't know because I've never raced at Barcelona before. So
You haven't?
I actually only bought the truck today.
Oh wow.
What about in the past, other sims?
I've raced it on F1,
Okay.
but I don't think you can really compare an F1 car to a GT3 car. It's got a little bit more downforce. So
I mean, the truck drives pretty much the same. So
yeah, oh, yeah. I feel like the chicane. I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't hate it. It depends. Yeah, I do think the curves are fairly aggressive though on the chicane. I'm not too sure about that though, but I think they are pretty aggressive. So.
yeah, I'm not missing it. But
Yeah.
I don't like the turn 10. At least like the old version we have here on iRacing. It's not a very nice corner to do, but the last two corners are quite fun if the car turns.
And then you gotta hope it doesn't spin too much and spin. So yeah, it's definitely a technical track, this one. So because Andre Saber just stays within that 1 second gap. So you take a look at Eric Overland now in the 112 car. And Aaron Stevens, 33 seconds behind him as well. He's made up a few positions after unfortunately having to drive a car that he has done no laps in around here, which is unfortunate for him, but he's scraped out a position or two out of that, which is fair play to him. Of course, the AM Championship winner from the GT3 Sprint Series.
Yeah, I was surprised to see him in a Porsche.
Yes, I believe he, from what I've heard, he accidentally joined in the Porsche and couldn't withdraw and join in the Mustang. So a bit of unfortunate for him, but he's still done a fairly good job. So to go back with Tyrrell Lance here, just bring it around in the Ferrari.
Yeah, let's see if he can catch Jack Clark. He's a few seconds ahead, and Tyrrell seems to have the pace on him, but
yeah. And I mean, now we just tick over to 10 minutes remaining now. So, and look at that gap, 4-5 tenths between Andre Saber and Juan Rodriguez. They are so close to each other with just 10 minutes to go. And it would not surprise me if that Mustang really starts to try and force an error out of the Porsche here. Try and just put that Mustang in annoying areas, just let him know he's there. But
yeah, Andrea needs to like do something.
Look right there, he's just closed that gap so much. We'll see how he carry more speed through turn 9 here. Onto the back straight. And look at this. This is the closest he's been multiple laps here, just 2.5 tenths. He backs off into turn 10. It looks like Rodriguez went a little bit wide. This is going to be a sprint to the end between these two.
I mean, what better way to finish the race with a fight for the lead?
Yeah, what better way to finish the year?
The year, yeah. He's very close here.
Yeah.
He might have a chance.
And we've seen the Mustang is so strong into turn 1, but so is the Porsche. The Porsche has also been especially on exit. We've seen one generally goes wide into the entry to turn 3, whereas Andre here will try and get a bit of a wider line, like we see there. And he just closes right up into turn 3. Just putting that pressure on Retro now. Looks to the inside. Of course, Retro with a very nice triple stint racing livery. Two triple stint logos on the front there. Of course, some of them up for grabs as well. Some gloves for the winners here. As Andre stays within half a second onto the back straight now. One has just stretched that gap out a little bit now, that last half a lap or so. But it is not over yet. Like, look at that. And we see what these two are fighting for at the moment on the bottom right there. Some very nice track trophies that we see down there. Those will be for P1 in each class, as well as a pair of triple stint Apex gloves. So that's what they're fighting for at the moment. Yes, 100%. It's a great way to end the year. Some great prizes up for grabs, and not only P1 in class as well, P2 in class will also receive a pair of podium triple stint racing gloves, and then P3 in class as well. A nice cash prize there as well, $10 cash, and then of course if there's 2 drivers, then $20 with 10 split between them. So some great prizes there as these two battle for those circuit trophies. As we see the gloves there as well.
Somebody was feeling generous.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a great turnout as well, this race, as we've seen. Managed to get a good amount of cars.
So it should be 4 laps next time around. So, I mean, Andrea needs to really do something, try to upset Retro, make him force a mistake. Otherwise, Retro has been like driving really good.
Yes, 100%. And still,
I mean,
5.5 minutes.
What to say about the SRN?
Oh,
boys?
it has been.
I mean,
he's been quick. I don't know if you saw a chat earlier, Albie, but Avery Miller is he races in real life.
oh yeah, nice.
He's running with his esports team today. And I believe as well, yes, he won the Canadian karting championship, so it is no wonder that he is a quick driver out there. Definitely got some experience under his belt as he gets past. Sorry, that's Preston Lee there, getting past some lap traffic.
I mean, very nice to see real life racers join us.
Yep. Yeah, 100%.
And showing us what you can do.
Yeah. I mean, again, as we round to the final 4 minutes of this race as well, if you like what you're seeing as well and want to support the channel, like and subscribe goes a long way as well. As we round out the 2025 year. It looks like Andre Saber's just dropped back there now. That got out to over a second. Retro just staying cool, calm and collected behind the wheel of that Porsche. As we know he is. Very good at doing that. Very consistent racer. Andre's going to try and extract every little bit of pace out of this car now. With just 4 minutes left, 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, I imagine Andre tried to do something like what I was saying and didn't work, so lost a bit of distance to Retro, so it's gonna be hard for him to catch back up, but let's see, maybe Retro relaxes a bit too much, a couple corners, and makes a mistake, and
Yeah, I mean, we've definitely seen it this race that all it takes is to go wide and end up in a gravel trap, and that loses you so much time. Even just going wide by a little bit, the likes of turn 3 and especially turn 8 there. Still not over yet. Andres closes that gap back up to inside a second now. Retro to stay nice and calm now. But Andres, it's not over yet. He's closing that gap up. He's right there. So we come towards 2 minutes to go.
yeah, should be a couple laps to go. So let's see. I mean, the gap is back to 6 tenths.
Yeah, it's
Andre really has
closing.
space on Retro.
Looks like they will get this and one more lap in for the race. So Andre will be very happy about that. That is an extra lap that he will get to try and fight through in front of
Did Avery
Rodriguez.
just let them go?
Yeah. I think Avery doesn't want to have any sort of impact on this race by the looks of it, or has he run out of fuel? He's going extremely slow here.
Is he out of fuel? No way.
He did pit before the hour mark. Early on, I believe it was 59-minute mark, so that possibly might be a little bit of a fuel problem, which would be devastating for what has been an absolute stellar race for him. And Preston Lee now is just catching up to him. That gap was 40 seconds.
Or is he just waiting for his teammate to get a photo finish? Yeah.
Maybe that is what it is. That yeah.
Maybe he
like
doesn't have
right.
the extra lap.
Yeah,
So
maybe
he has
he's
to-
just waiting, slowing down so he can get that white flag earlier.
Is he
Of
gonna?
course, Preston Lee, his teammate in the SRN Esports Mustang as well. This is very interesting as well, but got it.
He
Aaron,
has fuel.
Andre Saber as well, 6 tenths. They would have gotten the white flag last lap by as well. This is throwing some curveballs in here for the final race of the season, as Avery will take the white flag this lap as we go for one final lap of racing in the 2 hours of Barcelona. He has a good way of 4.7 kilometers to go, as Preston Lee is now 7 tenths behind. And Andre Saber 4 tenths now behind Juan Rodriguez. We've got 2 monster battles going on at the moment for first in both classes.
Yeah, I mean, very peculiar what happened with Avery. I guess he was
Maybe-
hoping to get the checker flag, but like the game isn't gonna give you the checker flag if you haven't gotten the white flag yet. So
Yes. And maybe he wants to do a Michael Schumacher moment, Indianapolis.
that's what I was imagining.
And he's gonna
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I think that's what's going on. Let's see, teammates having a little bit of fun here at the end of the race. Goes for that insane 57-second lead here, and Juan Rodriguez into the pits. Is that it's not a drive-through, it looks like a...
He's out of fuel.
Yeah, he's out of fuel. That is huge for the...
Oh,
that is
wow.
so big for the outcome of this race now. As we see now the two teammates going around the final corner to take the checkered flag. Who's it's going to be? And it's going to be Avery Miller just pipping him by 0.04 of a second at the line to take the win after a stellar race and a little bit of fun with the teammate there from SRN Esports. Well done to, of course, Avery Miller and Preston Lee and the two Mustangs taking home the victory. And, of course, Avery Miller will be taking home that circuit trophy as we see Jack Clark crossing the line for 4th in class. And yeah, Andre Sabo is going to take the win for Pro-Am class, as we see Terrell Lance as well coming home in that ENVY Simsports number 12 Ferrari there, crossing the line to take the checker flag for this year's final race. And what an action-packed sequence that was, and Harvey Sierra bringing home the podium, the final step of the podium, and that very nice $10 cash prize for him as he crosses the line in 3rd for Pro Class. And here is Andre Salva, who has been battling his way through the pack. So many battles with all the other drivers, and an amazing battle with the Juan Rodriguez. Unlucky there for Retro, supposedly running out of fuel, but he crosses the line, takes a checker, and is the winner of Pro-Am class for the Barcelona 2 hours. And will also have a circuit trophy coming his way with a pair of triple stint racing gloves. Well done to him and Juan Rodriguez. So unlucky for him, but nonetheless an amazing race for him and John Cannon, of course, as well. So that is a great performance by those two drivers in the ENVY Simsports, the other ENVY Simsports car.
Yeah, great job by Andre, like pushing Retro to not save fuel. I guess that's why Retro was saving fuel at the beginning of the stint, but then couldn't do it because Andre was so close. So
100%.
Yeah,
He didn't want to give the spot back. He didn't want to give the spot up, and it's just ended up coming back to bite him. But that's so unfortunate for Retro, but nonetheless, that is a great race by him and John. And yeah, that was an amazing race. And look at that, the two SRN Esports teams finishing by just 0.04 of a second between each other, with SRN Esports Black, of course, being Avery Miller winning there with a stellar performance, and then Preston Lee close behind in 2nd. Of course, Harvey Sierra by a big 54-second lead. Those two stretched. Comes home in 3rd place. And then we have, of course, Saba Racing bringing it home for the win in Pro-Am class, with Juan Rodriguez getting a little bit unlucky there in the ENVY Simsports Porsche with John Cannon. We have the VC Endurance team with Caleb O'Neill in that Porsche. Also a very good performance from him today. Made some great overtakes, coming home to round out the podium for Pro-Am class and 6th overall. We have Jack Clark in the 113 car. I believe his teammate was Paul Garney there at the start. Another good race from him in 4th overall. And then Terrell Lance, of course, in the other ENVY Simsports Ferrari there with Alberto Alvarez, who is up in the booth with us. Very good performance by them as well to round out the 2025 season. And then Race Supply Co., which will be... Oh, there's quite a lot of Race Supply Co. cars. Chase Eason there, and the 912 car. And then we have the second team race supply co-car, who is Eric Overland there in 10th overall and 6th in class. And then Aaron Stevens as well, our freshly new championship winner, coming home in 11th after accidentally loading into the wrong car. So another amazing race from him after being in a car that he has not drove around this track. So well done to him. Brad Mueller unlucky there. Did not end up taking the checkered flag, I do not believe. Nonetheless, amazing race for him. Got caught up in a few unlucky incidents with a wrong place, wrong time. And DG Sim Racing is Diego Gutierrez as well in the number 87 car. Patrick Brady coming home in 14th with his amazing Christmas livery, so props to him as well for that livery. John McLuhan getting a bit unlucky in the Porsche today, bring it home in 15th. Nonetheless, still a great 2025 season from him. We have Pro Sports Sim Racing White in 16th, which is Stephen Narori, and then Jakob Fury in 17th, and then finally Tacoma Racing 92 in 18th, which is Finn Caitlin. And that rounds out today's race results, and I mean, what a race it was. That was very interesting there. And that sequence at the end felt like the Michael Schumacher sort of performance at the end there. But yeah, that was a great race. So I mean, we'll start off with, I think we have some interviews now. We'll start with Andre Saba. First of all, congratulations, Andre, for a race win. You kept one very modest there. He was having trouble keeping you behind. Obviously, it looks like a hard track to pass at. But yeah, congratulations with the victory.
Yeah, thank you. It was a great race. I didn't start very well, you know. I make a mistake at the end of the first stint. That cost me to run about 15 minutes at a very low pace. But yeah, after the pit stop, I was able to gain a few positions and got it. So I'm very happy for it.
Yeah, no, it was a great performance, and the Mustangs looked extremely strong out there today as well. And that sequence at the end there where you were just half a second, at some points 0.2 of a second behind Juan Rodriguez. What was the plan there? Were you looking to overtake, or we could see as well on broadcast, especially into turn one, he was lifting and coasting a lot, saving fuel. Were you trying to maybe just stay close enough that he felt like he couldn't fuel save there, or were you looking to pass him? What was the plan there?
Yeah, I was following him. Yeah, trust me, I was trying to pass him. And after a little bit, I get frustrated as I saw him saving fuel in front of me. But yeah, I was running at 100%. Last lap, I saw he took the pits. I had about 0.7 of fuel in the tank. Well, I took the gamble and it went well.
Yeah, 100% it worked out. And I mean, strategy looked like it was a key bit of this race. And I mean, you made some amazing overtakes out there. Any final words or thanks to anyone that you want to say before you head off, or?
Well, thank you to you guys. That was an amazing race. I had a lot of fun, and that's it. Thank you.
Yeah, well, thanks a lot, and you definitely put on a wonderful show for us up in the booth. So thanks a lot to you as well. There were some amazing overtakes out there. So good job and congratulations.
Thank you.
Bella gara, Andre.
Grazie.
And then I believe we have. It doesn't look like we have Alvari in here, but we'll speak to Preston Lee, I'm sure. Preston, good race. I mean, I'm sure. Harvey Sierra? Yep, Harvey, awesome. Harvey Sierra, congratulations to you, of course, with the third place finish in Pro Class Yeah, it was a very good race by you. You kind of just felt like you didn't want to try and get involved in too much action. You're just trying to keep it nice and clean, but of course, still setting some good lap times. So congratulations to you.
Oh, thank you guys. Yeah, just trying to avoid the chaos.
Yeah, it was a pretty chaotic lap one. Lots of drivers getting caught out by that. But yeah, you did a really good job at keeping it clean and keeping it out of the way of incidents. What was your view like from lap one? Of course, starting maybe further back in the grid than you'd like. You probably saw it all unfold.
Well, yeah, man, I had a really bad quali, so I think that kind of helped me a little bit. To avoid all there was cars all over the place in the first lap. Was going left and right, trying to avoid them. But yeah, I mean, it's a good race overall. Just trying to keep the pace, saving some fuel all the way, and yeah.
Yeah, and what was fuel saving like? Because I mean, I know I was unsure if the cars, if you guys needed to do fuel saving or if you could just run flat out and not really worry about it. What was the strategy like there?
Yeah, I mean, this try was since the beginning was to try to save some fuel. Gladly the M4 it's pretty good on gas. Uh, didn't have that much of a problem saving, but yeah, that was the whole plan, trying to save some fuel and keep the pace.
Yeah, well, nonetheless, a great way to end out 2025 with a third overall and obviously third in class finish in pro class. So well done to you, and any other thanks, anyone you want to thank or any last words?
Sure, yeah. Shout out to John, like always, putting all these events together. To the team, to Luke. You guys been helping me a little bit these past few weeks, and to my brother, who's probably watching the stream. Shout out to him also, and yeah,
Yeah,
to
well,
you guys for the stream and everything. Yeah.
congratulations, and that was a amazing race from you and a stellar way to end out the year. So well done to you.
All right. Thank you, guys.
So yeah, and Preston Lee with second in pro class. Congratulations to you. We're going to focus
Thank
on
you.
the actual race first before I ask my question about the end, because you probably know it's coming.
Oh, I know it's coming.
I mean, you had some amazing pace as well, especially SRN Esports in that car there. You had some great pace and looked like you stayed out of trouble while setting some great lap times. So great race for you.
Yeah, first lap was quite brutal. Barely
Mm.
avoided the turn 2 accident, but got out of that alive and just kept it clean. Was a little bit high on incident points at the end. Was trying to set a fast lap, but couldn't get it through.
Yeah, I mean, you saw some, as you see on screen now, there's some 3 wide action there, but the
Oh,
Mustang,
that was
it
fun.
looked pretty good in terms of whenever we saw someone go too wide with another car, the Mustang, it didn't really look like it was struggling too much to stay alongside the cars. What did it feel like out there?
Mustang was great. Avery and I drove this car back in Nürburgring for an NEC round, and we figured it's our favorite car and the way it handles, and we figured it'd be a great car for this track.
Yeah, 100%. Now the end. um,
Mm.
it caught our eye when the 40-second gap went to 6/10. So it was. I'm assuming you guys are probably in a VC in the team Discord or something. What was it like there? What was the plan?
I did go an extra lap longer, so he had to do a little bit of fuel saving on that last stint, but not 40 seconds. We we figured, hey, if he's got a fuel save anyways, we might as well get a great photo.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, a great photo it was, like 400ths of a second, and so it's what we came
Yeah.
to the assumption up in the booth. We were like, oh, he must be doing like a Michael Schumacher at Indy or something there, and yeah, I tell you what, you nearly pipped him at the line. You had to
Nah, I
let
made
off
sure
there.
he was ahead. I want to make it close, but I didn't want to grab it from him.
Yeah, you had to lift off there. It was pretty close.
Yeah.
But
Looks great
yeah,
on the camera.
nonetheless, amazing race from both of you guys. Unfortunately, it looks like he Avery's not in the voice chat at the moment, but great race to him, and congratulations to both of you as teammates. So yeah, great job. And any other thanks or last words?
Huge thanks to SRN, my team, and everybody that we have here, especially our livery maker, Alex Lo-Fi. He makes all our liveries, and unfortunately, Avery didn't have our cool black and gold livery, but he had our standard livery that we run for everything. And thanks to Avery being a great teammate, and it was really fun having him here. It's a pretty long race, and going through is fun just to chat and get through the race there.
Yeah, 100%. Well, congratulations, and I can definitely agree. Those liveries are amazing, and we did see the SRN YouTube channel pop in to the YouTube channel as well to wish you guys good luck. So congratulations to both of you, and I hope you have a good rest of your 2025.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
Thanks. Alrighty, well, that is a wrap of this 2 hours of Barcelona then, I think. I mean, what a race it was. That was definitely proved some good overtaking and some good battles there at the end, and yeah, it was definitely a great race. What do you think, Pix? How was it from you?
Yeah, really fun, and looks like John Cannon is here. So hello, John.
Hello, Pix. Hello, Oscar.
Hello, hello.
Hello to you too, John.
Oh, hey, Albie. I didn't know you were in here.
John, I almost got you, John.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, we'll start off with the race, John. Of course, you put in a very good performance in your respective car there, the Porsche, with Juan Rodriguez there. I think the main thing I noticed was that you kept it extremely clean, which seemed to work for a lot of drivers out there. Put them in good positions, making it through the lap one crash. There, he definitely kept it really clean. So congratulations to you and
Yeah, I
Rodriguez.
appreciate that.
And
Yeah, I appreciate that. There was a lot of a lot of debris flying around right there that and everyone was getting in the mix of it. So just
yes.
had to keep it clean.
Yeah, I mean, you did a very good job at doing that and a good finish overall. I'm assuming you would have talked to Juan about the end there. What happened exactly? There was a fuel. He just ran out of fuel at the end on the last lap.
Yeah. So the for whatever reason, iRacing decided to short fuel us. We were short 6 liters of fuel, and we were watching the leader. He was pulling away 18 seconds, and then all of a sudden the gap just started dropping. They're like, "What's going on? Maybe he's out of fuel." And then we're like, "Oh no, now we're going to be short." So and Retro was already saving as much as possible right out the gate, and I mean he did a hell of a job. We held, I think we were P1 in class all the way up until that
Mm.
last lap, and then once we passed the leader, that was the end of it. We couldn't go anymore, and we were just hoping and praying that he was just gonna stay out, but he or not stay out, but slow up, but he slowed down, and then we ended up passing. But oh well, it is what it is. Overall, it was a great race, and uh, Andre he was keeping us honest the entire race.
100%. Yeah, it was a great race. And of course, you're the you and likes of Albi and everyone, you sort out all the events and that. And of course, this is the last, I believe, the last ENVY Simsports event of the year, and what a way to finish it. But what sort of plans are we looking like for 2026?
So yeah, there's lots of things coming in 2026. Uh, right now we have our endurance challenge that's coming up at the end of next month. I haven't quite released it yet to everyone else. However, if you're a donor, you already know about this event. But here, probably later tonight or even tomorrow morning sometime, I'll release the new sports car challenge, which is LMP2s and GT3s. And we're doing a multi-class. That's a 6-week event, uh, and it runs basically from the end of January, which we had to move everything back because of the 24 hours of Daytona. So yeah, and then on top of that, we got all kinds of events. I'm want to do another endurance challenge towards the end of the year, more sprint races. Maybe if we can, figure it out, maybe a Porsche Cup because from what I've been hearing, people are enjoying that car and so on and so forth. So maybe we might have to figure out a Porsche Cup series.
Yeah, 100%. Well, that looks like 2026 is going to be a great year. And as you said, the donors as well, a huge thanks goes out to them for, I believe, the $5 every month. It's a huge help to the league. And for anyone watching that wants to get involved with the league as well, you can go check ENVY Simsports out on envysimsports.com. I believe there's also a link there to join the Discord and get involved with the league. But yeah, as we see there on screen now, a huge thanks to the donors. William Gary, Brad Mueller, Terrell Lentz, Retro Coffin, Marvin Brooks, Michael Jeffries, and Joseph Kronk. So huge thanks to them. And of course, the guys over at Triple Stint Racing as well. Couldn't do it without these sponsors either over at triplestint.com with some great gloves, proud partners of the league as well. So huge thanks goes out to them.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
So, John, any last words, any shout outs that you want to do? Any Christmas and holiday greetings? Since this was, like Albi mentioned, like sort of a Christmas/holiday race, uh, as well for GT Champions last broadcast of the year. So, any final words from you, John?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you guys for sticking with us throughout the entire year. You guys have done such an amazing job with your guys' broadcast, not only with our races but also with your guys' races. I watch as many of them as I can when I have the time off. Um, Oscar, you've been a great addition to the team. Chris, too bad he's not here tonight, but he's also done really good commentary. Every time he's on the mic, I'm usually laughing about something from something he says. Um, and of course, you picks. Thank you for bringing us all the amazing imagery that you do. And as much as I'd like to, not mention him because he's all about the Mustang. Fry, wherever you are, thank you, buddy, for being out there doing what you're doing. And of course, can't forget Noah as well. You guys are all doing an amazing job. Also, I want to thank everyone that has participated in every single event that we've done, or just have been in, won a race here or there. Without you guys, we couldn't have done this as we're doing right now. Of course, Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy New Year. And I also want to thank Albie, Terrell, Patrick, Retro, and everyone else that's been involved with the league and stuff like that. Even the donors, you guys are doing amazing work and stuff like that. So everyone just keep doing what you're doing, and I believe this is going to take off and be just great for 2026. And again, of course, like I mentioned earlier, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Happy New Year, and we'll see you again next year. Looking forward to 2026.
All right, and for those that want to join these events, John, where can they find you?
So right now, we're still have some most of our events on SimGrid, but we're also transitioning to having some of our events on the website. So you can find us either on our website at envysimsports.com, or you can find us on SimGrid /communities /NB Simsports, and there you can find all of our events, especially the ones that have a lot of these prizes and stuff like that, because we want to get that is in front of as many people as possible. And yeah, that's and also if you join our Discord, I'm sure you'll probably find somewhere in there that where we're have our events being shared. If for whatever reason you're under a rock for whatever reason you don't have any access to any internet or anything like that aside from just iRacing.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Albi. And we're really happy to broadcast your races, and hopefully we'll keep broadcasting them next year. So thank you, guys.
Yes, thank you guys.
All right, and Oscar. So really happy to have you join the crew. And as you can see, the our partners, John, Alvi, we all appreciate you. So where can people find you for those that want to know a little bit more about you and your team?
Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, thanks a lot to you guys for having me. It's been a great, great last few month or so doing commentary. Of course, this is my first sort of gig doing commentary with you guys, and I'm enjoying it a lot. So, big thanks to you guys. In terms of where you can find me, I have a team called Full Throttle Motorsports. You can find us on Instagram under that name as well. Maybe a website in the future, we'll see, but not yet. But yeah, that's where you can find us. We do a lot of the 24-hour races. Also on Twitch, you can see me on all simulations as well as YouTube. So yeah, that's where you can find me. But yeah, huge thanks to everyone, and Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And hope everyone's next few weeks go amazing.
Perfect. Awesome.
Alrighty, and well, that's a 2025 season wrap then, with the 2 hours of Barcelona out of the way. And huge thanks to everyone, the sponsors, the donors, John, Albie, Terrell, especially Pix, John, everyone puts in a lot of work. So huge thanks to everyone, and thanks for watching ENVY Simsports with GTCtv. And it's been a great year, and we'll see you next year.
Are you looking for professional broadcasting on a budget? How about broadcast with colorful commentary, guest commentators, and after-race interviews? Do your league branding and social media graphics need a facelift? Custom results and series graphics looking like a 5th grader did them? Event organization taking up way too much of your time? Engage GTC TV and let us help you show the world your events.